thank you so much for tuning in. You're listening to Alestle After Hours, the show where we get to go beyond the 600-word limit in the paper and discuss what's happening on our campus and in the world. I'm your host, Erica Green, and today I'm joined by two Alestle staff members who I'll let introduce themselves.
I'm Joanne Weaver, the graphics manager.
I'm Brooke Hill, and I'm a copy editor.
All right, so let's get right into it. So our first story talks about how Senator Dick Durbin came to SIUE basically to talk about, voting and how important it is for SIU students to vote. He came here on October 22nd, and the event was hosted by the SIUE College Democrats, by the way. So he came along with former SIUE mathematics instructor and the current state representative, Katie Stewart, and also Rochelle Auld Crow, who is a Madison County prosecutor. And basically, they just came to talk about how important it is to vote and how important the, SIUE student vote is. They were talking about, they're trying to get more funding for our school. They're trying to do all these great things, but they can't do it, until we get that kind of thing going. So did you guys go? I feel like I knew about it, but I didn't go. Like, I had class or something like that. Did any of you guys see it?
Weren't we in Louisville?
Oh, were you guys out of town? It was October 22nd.
October 22nd. Yeah, I don't remember when that date was.
Well, I'll look it up. When was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. 2 Mondays ago.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
2 Mondays ago, I was probably at work.
Probably.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening.
Okay. Well, cool. So, also, something that Rochelle Crow mentioned that she wanted to, talk about more about the funding split between SIU and SIUC, which, as we know, is a very, very hot topic these days. So what do you guys think? Like, do you think, like, when politicians come to talk to you guys, like, will that inspire you to vote? What really drives you to vote, really? What will make you vote?
Well, I think what makes someone want to vote, like, you have to make it personal for a person. So if you're trying to get, like, a student at SIUE to go out and vote, you have to present issues that would affect them and make them want to vote, which funding for education, that's a very hot-button topic.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Brooke, what about you?
It's not something I've thought about a lot, like how to get people to vote. But, I do. And I think, it's definitely, like, good to do whatever you can. Like, it's weird, though. Like, I can't really imagine, like, not feeling affected enough by politics to have personal stake in, like, those kind of decisions. So, like, you might as well try and push it the way that you want to. I don't know. I really, like, can't really get outside of, like, that mindset enough. Like, I know there's people who don't vote because of the, like, they're, like, afraid to or, like, physically unable to, like, get themselves to a polling place or whatever. And, like, there's some reasons that make sense to me. But just, like, the apathy thing, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, talking about what you were talking about, people getting out to the polling places, I saw that Uber was offering free rides for people to get to their polling places, and I think that's really cool.
So get on that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys something. Do you typically vote? First of all, do you vote, period? And if you do you vote just for, like, the presidential level, or do you vote for local level? Because I'm not going to lie. I only show up every 4 years. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm only there every 4 years to vote for the president. But it's just seeing these things has made me think about because it starts. I really didn't think about it, but it does start at, like, a local level. You know what I mean? Like, the issues that you bring up at the local level will eventually make its way to Washington if you vote and if you keep voicing your opinion, if you care enough to do those things. So, do you guys vote on the local level or presidential level, or where do you vote?
I vote when there are elections because that's just the household I was raised in. My parents, we live like 5 minutes away from our polling place in St. Louis. So I've always had, like, this representation in a way. Like, I've seen them from a young level, and they explained to me the process. They would show me, like, giving their IDs to the person working at the polls. And I would watch them at a young age, like, fill out their ballot. I didn't know I could do that, but they did it. So I was always in a part of the voting process. So it makes sense to me to do it. And the president can only affect us so much at the local level. Like, those elections are more important for us to focus on, and seeing officials, holding them accountable to the things that they promise us during their campaigns. So
yes.
I participate in local level elections.
Yeah, I haven't really up to this point, but I'm definitely going to be participating in this one because I mean, just the way politics have like been just like everywhere lately. It's like, yeah, if there's anything I can do about any of this, like even if it's just like a really tiny amount, like I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not that hard for me to do it. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna be voting. I'm gonna try and make it out this time and try and make a better habit of it in general, I think.
Yeah, Joanne, I definitely agree with you. So I'm from St. Louis, and my polling place is at a school. Literally, I could probably walk there. So
my polling place is at a school too.
Yeah, so definitely. And my parents, when I was younger, I didn't even think about this, but you said that, so it reminded me. My parents definitely took us to, me and my sister to their polling places, and they would, at first it was like the paper, but then it's basically electronic. So like, they would take us, they had a little curtain thingy, and you know what I mean? Like they would do their voting, and so like I did see that. And finally, I think the 2016 election, I was 19. So yeah, it was my first time voting. I was like, oh my God, I get to do, you know what I mean? It was so cool. So yeah, and that's great. So the point is, get out and vote. Definitely, if you want to see change, it starts at the local level. If you're on the SIU campus and you're on campus, you can get the Alestle newspaper, or you can go on our website, alestlelive.com. And we because a lot of times my excuse is, I really don't know who's who, what they believe in, so I'm not going to just make an uneducated decision. But no, we got y'all, okay? In the paper, on the website, we have listed, for Illinois, by the way, we have listed everybody who's running, you know what I mean, like what their policies are, what they believe in. We put in like the different propositions, all that stuff. So we got y'all, okay? So read that, get informed, and then go vote, okay? It starts with us. We really have the power. Like, us, the millennials, 18 to 30, okay? We have all the power. So let's use it for something good. So
I have a little side note.
Yes.
I saw on CNN they had an article saying that millennials, that people our age, we might be voting more in this midterm election.
Yeah.
They said that they see a higher increase of people registering to vote because,
Good.
We saw Taylor Swift. She had her post saying for Tennessee that you should vote for this candidate, get involved, get informed, and that kind of thing. So I think it'll be a good turnout.
Yeah, I'm excited. So speaking of politics, we're going to move on to the presidential level. So Trump was just here, not here, but he was like 100 miles away from here in Murfreesboro, Illinois, which I'm guessing is near Carbondale. I'm not sure. You can fact check me. I don't know. But President Donald Trump was here last Saturday, quote in the newspaper, quote, where he rallied for his agenda and also endorsed Congressman Mike Bost. So, he was here for his rally and stuff. And the crazy thing about this is in the paper, it says that supporters were allowed to enter the rally starting at 1:30, but many of them were here well before 9 a.m. And there's one quote from an SIUC student saying that, he had been there since 6:15 a.m. Like, whew, y'all, is it that deep for y'all?
That's real dedication.
It is.
I'm not sure I have that level. But yeah, that's something. That's all I got.
Brooke, what do you think?
About like getting
in line that early
to see the president?
No. What do you think about like, people getting there like 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, for this one, for a rally that starts at 1:30? Like, would you do it? Like, is it that deep for you?
A Trump rally?
Just let's just say a rally in general. A political
like a
rally.
Political rally.
Yeah, a political rally in general.
I mean, probably not. I'd have to really, really like the person,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, like diehard supporters, I could believe that they would do that for a person that they look up to.
Yeah. So my first knee-jerk reaction was like, yo, it's not that deep. But you know what? I am glad they're doing it because like I mentioned earlier, like there are people who stand out for days in order to get the new Jordans. There are people who stand out for days and hours on end to get the new Nikes, the new Fenty Beauty, the new whatever. There are people who spend days away from their families on Black Friday to get these new gadgets. So, you know what I mean? If you want to spend hours and days for a political rally, go for it, okay? People do it for a lot less good reasons, one would argue, a lot more materialistic reasons. So, go forth. Be great. Live your best life. But also, so the story continues on page 5 of the paper. It said that Trump said several things. He said that the death penalty should be reinstated. You know, because he said this because of the shooting at the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh that killed 11 people. You know, and that's why he said like the death penalty should be reinstated. So what do you? I feel like this is gonna be like a long debate, but we don't have time for a long debate. But we're just gonna do a little short debate. What do y'all think about the death penalty being reinstated? Do you think it's because I didn't know it wasn't a thing. I thought the death penalty was always there. I didn't know they took it away. I had no idea.
Well, we're talking about the same person who called for the death penalty for the 5 boys that were falsely accused of raping the girl. You've heard of that case? Ugh, it escapes me right now, but it was a case like years and years ago, and they were proven innocent because their DNA was not found at the scene. But he took out an ad in a paper calling for them to get the death penalty. So you would think that he would be more considerate about those types of things and the words that he chooses for that. But I don't personally like the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, like, whenever I've heard the numbers or looked at the numbers, it's always like way more expensive than just keeping people in jail anyway. So like, what's the point? Like, if you're not saving any money, then like, why are you gonna kill people? That's a big deal. If you don't get any advantage of that other than like they're dead, well, like, they're already out of the way in prison. That's why ideally, you know, the entire point of like separating people is to like keep it so that they're not like harming the rest of society or whatever. Like, that's how it looks if it's working the way it's supposed to. And there's just no like case where it's going to be like so extreme that you have like no choice but to just like kill a person. I just don't see it. Like, even if they've done some like really, really bad stuff, if the other option is somewhere like where they're not going to be hurting people during that time anyway because they're under like constant surveillance and all the other stuff, I just don't see the justification.
Yeah, I don't know. I think no. Like, if you do like a crime, no. If you do just something like heinous, like if you do something to a child, like if you like abuse a child, sexually assault a child, things like that, then yeah, you should get the death penalty. But on the other hand, people are falsely accused of things every day. So in that same scenario, if you are falsely accused of doing something to a child and you didn't do it, that would be really bad to like die for something that you didn't do. So I don't know, I'm kind of like 50-50 on that.
Reminds me of John Coffey from The Green Mile.
Yeah, like I don't know, like just
I mean, there's not any kids in prison though. Like, they separate kid and adult prison too, so like they can't really keep doing that if they're in prison.
Yeah, but still, like, it's the fact that you did it, though. The fact that you did it, like, do something, do something so heinous. Like, it's not like you robbed a bank. It's not like you committed fraud. Like, you basically destroyed somebody's life. You know what I mean? So that, I don't know. But also, like I said, if you're falsely accused, and we know our justice system
is now the Central Park 5. That's the case.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, people are falsely accused all the time. Our justice system is arguably not the best. So, until proven guilty, you can argue it's not really a thing. But I digress. So, I don't know. The death penalty is, I don't know. That's a weird thing. So, we're going to see if the death penalty is actually reinstated. I don't know. But something Trump also said was he made a false claim about the post 9/11 stock exchange. He had made a claim that a friend of his, Dick Russell, headed up the New York Stock Exchange on September 11th, and it was open the next day, which actually is not true. Actually, the New York Stock Exchange opened September 17th, 2001. And, like, I was saying this, like, before we recorded, I was like, yo, like, does he not have, like, fact checkers or speechwriters? But then again, knowing Trump, like, he probably does have fact checkers and speechwriters and all that stuff. This is probably a part where he just went rogue, probably. He probably just started talking, started ad-libbing, which is cool, but you gotta be careful when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very accurate, very factual, what you just said. So, I don't know. When it comes to the president, I just wonder, does he care or is it failing memory, health? I
don't know.
have really big questions. This isn't the first time that he's gone off on a tangent that wasn't factually correct. Like, he says things all the time. When he referred to one of the mayoral candidates in Florida, Gillum, I forget his first name, but his last name is Gillum. He called him a thief. And we just wonder,
Why?
where is the factual basis for that statement? He always says things every single day. So,
Yeah. And then the last thing that I just feel strongly about. So Trump made another point talking about, the amount of money that was going on to building the wall that he just wants to build so bad. So he said, and I quote, "We spent 1.6 billion. We then spent another 1.6 billion. We are now spending another 1.6 billion. But I want to just do it all at one time." Blah, blah, blah. So end quote. So this is my thing. Okay, 1.6. He spent 1.6 billion with a B 3 times. 1.6 times 3 is 4.8. You spent 4.8 billion on this wall. But this is my thing. You spent 4.8 billion on this wall, but Flint, Michigan, still has dirty water to this day. I really don't know how they're drinking or doing anything. Okay, we still have tons of homeless people on the street. You know what I mean? We still have tons of people who are struggling, who either are homeless or one paycheck away from being homeless. We have so many. Like, come on, man. Like, I know immigration is a problem, if you think of it that way, but we have more issues here. Like, you're so, I don't know. I think you're so, like, he's so busy focusing on the outside, like, not letting anybody in, but, like, focus on people who are in. Like, focus on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you put this, because the argument is that, we can't house them. We don't have the resources. But if you took this 4.8 billion, we might be able to help them out and other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, It's just about the allocation and, like, the way you think about it. Like, how can you sit here and spend $4.8 billion on a wall, but your citizens who you claim to care about and who you claim to, fight for and protect, how is it that you can sit there and, let this happen? Like, I know he's rich. So, rich people, they may not be, not that they don't care, but they may not be fully aware. Yeah, as affected, may not be fully affected. But still, man, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm not even, like, 100% sure that I, like, agree immigration is a problem now.
Yeah, same.
It's hard to, like, even... I mean, like,
because
all
when
the
you think
arguments
about
I
it,
hear against it.
when you think about it, everybody here is an immigrant. Everybody who came here was an immigrant, either by choice or by force. But
I was going to point that out.
Yeah. But I digress. But yeah, everybody here is an immigrant in some way, shape, or form. So the only people who weren't were Native Americans.
Yeah. And, like, all the arguments that hear against it are, like, that there's going to be, like, overcrowding. I mean, there isn't. We don't have that problem. We've got 5 empty houses for every homeless person. And
is that a fact?
Yeah, I've...
St. Louis is at its record high for vacant houses right now.
Yo, see, this is what I'm talking about.
That was reported by Channel 4 earlier this week.
And they'll say that they're, like, stealing their jobs and stuff, and that's not really true either.
Okay, first of all, they're taking the jobs that nobody wants.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I don't really understand. I haven't heard, like, a lot of anti-immigration arguments that make any sense to me.
Right.
Personally.
No.
So... I mean, I definitely don't think it's a big enough issue to be spending $5 billion on a wall. Like, no, that's not even gonna, like, actually help that much. Like,
and what kind of wall is it that you're spending $5 billion on? Like, what kind of wall? Listen, for $5 billion, this wall better talk to you. This wall better, protect against, like, hurricanes and stuff. Like, this wall better be the wall, okay?
I have yet to see a plan. I have yet to see a
True.
blueprint.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and then we were talking about this earlier, like, there's just so many things that he could be focusing on. Focus on getting the kids, like, the quote-unquote, like, I don't even know what they call them, but, like, it's a nice way of saying, like, a child prison.
Kid prisons.
Yeah, kid,
And I'm sure there are children that still need to be reunited with their families at this moment.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of them. I mean, they didn't all just let them all go free, I'm sure. Like, there's just so many other things we could be spending these $5 billion on, and, man, I just...
And another thing, I feel like he shouldn't even be talking about making an executive order to end birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrant families. Like, that's just unprecedented. That's just unheard of. Very un-American, so.
Yeah, and also, the narrative that, people who come in immigration are just coming in here to just mess up our communities and we're just trying to steal and blah, blah, blah. That's not true. Like, I know people who literally, I have a lot of international friends. So I know people who came over. So I have one of my friends is from Liberia, and, like, her family literally came because they were seeking asylum. Like, they were in a civil war. Like, if they stayed, I don't know what would have happened to them. Like, they didn't, and, I mean, obviously, like, if they didn't have the Civil War, they would have never came here. So it's not like they were just like, oh, let me go to America right quick. Like, no, we're trying to save our lives, type situation. So I think people just need to have more heart and also realize we're all immigrants here, man. Like, don't act brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that's all I got to say.
And I just had a little quick thing to say. For people that think there is a right and a wrong way that people should just come here and go through an embassy and there's this one channel. When people are literally, like, risking their lives to come from a horrible situation, if your child is dying, right or wrong goes out of the window. And seeking asylum could be like that avenue of getting to a place that's better for your family. Just people, when they talk about there's a right way, I feel like they're coming from a place of privilege. Like, you don't have to go through these problems that people coming to migrate to the U.S. go through. So I think you just really need to think about it before you talk about it.
Yeah, and also, I didn't know this because obviously I've never had to think about it, but becoming a citizen is very, very, very expensive. It's a very, very long process. I have friends whose parents have become citizens, and it is a very long process, very expensive process. I have, friends who are thinking about, becoming a citizen. First of all, not even citizen, even being a permanent resident, even getting your green card is very long, expensive process. But becoming a citizen is an even longer, even more. I don't want to say expensiver because that's not a word, but even more expensive process. Like,
more pricey.
It's more pricey. There you go. So you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they can wait in their country if they really are, like, in danger and, like, about to be killed. They can't wait 5 years to be a citizen, then to come over. They don't have that kind of time.
Right,
you know what I mean? And they don't have the money. Because think about it, it's per person. So if you have 5 people in your family, like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be like, let's just say $2,000 to become a citizen. Times 5 is $10,000 for everybody in your family to become a citizen. Who has that money? Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? We can work it out to where you come here, you do your thing, and then we'll figure all the other stuff later. But, like, come here, be safe first. But,
and like people in that position too, like who are, like, staying here illegally or whatever, they've got, like, way less incentive to, like, commit a crime than the average person.
They're minding their business, first of all.
They're already, like, here trying to, like, keep a low profile because they don't want to get deported. So, like, they're not going to be going around, like, robbing places, committing, like, murders and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous.
That's a lot. Obviously, we're very heated on this subject, if you can't tell.
Very passionate.
Very passionate. So, on to more happier topics. So, we brought back our lifestyle piece, Metro East Eats. So, for those who don't know, Metro East Eats is where we take a food group. It could be, like, coffee or burgers or fried chicken or whatever, and we go to different places, around the area, like around Edwardsville, St. Louis, that kind of place, and we just go to different restaurants and we review it. So we have 4 different reviews. One was written by Joanne. So, Joanne, I'm going to let you talk about your review. So, first of all, where did you go to get your mac and cheese?
I went to Wheelhouse. It's in downtown St. Louis. It's near Ballpark Village.
It's lit.
It's really good. But Wheelhouse is known for being, like, a nightclub. But, like, they have a menu twist. Like, they have really good food. And you can go watch, like, the game if it's on. If the Cardinals are playing at Busch Stadium, you can watch it on their screens. Or watch the Blues if you're a hockey fan. Things like that. But they have a really good menu, and they have a section dedicated to macaroni and cheese. Like, you really got to taste it. It's phenomenal.
So which kinds did you taste?
Me, because I am bougie. I love lobster macaroni and cheese, and I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't have to pay for it. It was a date.
I should say, what do you mean? Let's still out here paying for meals?
Exactly. $18. I'm not doing that.
Wow.
They have macaroni and cheese starting at $10, guys, by the way. Just so you know.
You have to pay $18 if you don't want to.
You do not. You absolutely don't. And then they had a Creole mac and cheese. So,
So did you order both of them on the date?
no, I did not.
I was gonna say. So did
That's
like
what the other person got.
got it,
Mhm.
got it. Okay, so how was it?
I love my macaroni and cheese. It's decadent. The sauce is thick. It's got body. It's delicious.
It's got body. It's got bodies.
I don't want a weak sauce. Like, what is this milky, cheesy sauce? That's disgusting. Like, it needs to be thick and voluptuous. Like, that's what we like over here.
I feel that. So another one is sauce on the side, which is it's a really cool twist. So sauce on the side is like a calzone place. And so they have this calzone which is filled with mac and cheese. It's called the cockadoodle noodle. My bad, cockadoodle noodle, and it's filled with mac and cheese, roasted chicken, cheese, green onion, and garlic oil, and served with the sides of buffalo butter. That sounds fire.
That sounds delicious.
Off rip. Fire. So, in reading the review, it sounds like it was pretty good. It sounds like the atmosphere was right, the vibes were good. The calzone was pretty good. So, sauce on the side, cockadoodle noodle dish. Might want to check that out. On the other hand, peel wood fire pizza. Even looking at there's a picture of it. There is way too much celery. I was looking, I was like, why is all that celery on top? Yeah. So they have this buffalo mac and cheese bowl at Peel Wood Fire Pizza. It's in O'Fallon, Illinois. By the way, sauce on the side is downtown as well. I forgot to say that. But so Peel Wood Fire Pizza. That's like a tongue twister.
But Peel's also here in Edwardsville too. They got 2 locations.
Oh,
they
okay,
have
cool.
a few locations.
Okay, cool. Good to know. So there's also one here. You don't have to go to O'Fallon if you don't want to. So they have a buffalo mac and cheese, but it sounds fire. Sounds delicious. But apparently it was not good. Apparently, it was very, and I didn't know this was possible to have too much cheese, but apparently there was too much cheese, to the point where, you ever had something with too much cheese? It's like a block in your throat, and, you just can't swallow. It's, hard to swallow. That's what it sounds like it was.
Yeah, well, that was, an off-menu item, too, though. So, if you read the review, it says, that, the chefs might just, not really have an idea of how to make this normally. So I don't know if that was a bad day or just a bad meal or whatever, but apparently it was bad.
And apparently their meal was cold. It's off rip, is a no. But they sent it back and they got a hot dish, but it wasn't any better. So Peel Wood Fire Pizza, maybe, you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe it was a location. Maybe it was an off night. I would still go and try it personally, but...
it's $16, though.
Oh, true.
Nope.
Never mind. Just kidding. Never mind. That's a gamble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Ryan was less than impressed, I'm definitely not trying
That's
it.
only, I'm going to be like a Joanne. If I go on a date, and you paying for it, then I'll gamble. But with my own money, I'm not gambling. And finally, Kate went to Lulu's local eatery, and it's in South Grand in St. Louis. It's in the city, South Side, where I'm from. Hey, so Lulu's is a vegan restaurant. So vegan mac and cheese, gluten free. It sounds very suspect. It sounds like it's not going to be good at all. But apparently, this mac and cheese was hitting. Apparently, like it said, it was really good. They have 5 different varieties of their mac and cheese. They have plain, chili, pesto, nacho, and buffalo. And they said it sounded like it was really good. You know what I mean? The butternut cheese sauce and the gluten-free noodles to the walnut Parmesan crumbles. It was really good. She said it really surpassed her expectations. So, low-key, y'all gotta be convinced. I might have to try that. You know what I mean? It's not too far from where I live. And I might have to slide through one day.
I love South Grand and all their vegetarian places, though,
Yes.
so I guess I'm just might be biased.
Oh,
Yes.
I'd give it a try. It sounds all right.
Yeah. So, finally, to our last story we're going to talk about. So, Big Mouth. Anybody who has Netflix or has a friend that has Netflix, or like me, you have a friend that has Netflix and you're on their Netflix, you've heard the show Big Mouth. So, Big Mouth, well, you guys have seen the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys explain it.
Oh.
Well, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't really watch it. I kind of know it, but...
It's like a show about a group of kids who are in, I think, middle school.
They're prepubescent, going through puberty changes.
Yeah, they're going through, puberty changes, and they've got these monsters that, represent their, hormonal, imbalances and stuff that they, talk to and stuff. And it's just kind of about sex from the viewpoint of a kid, basically.
Okay, and it's it sounds like, because I have been in the room when my friend is watching it, and so it sounds like, it's talking about puberty and like all that, you go through when you're of that age, and like they use it in the context of like monsters, so it's like hormonal monsters and things like that. But they actually talk about some like really real stuff. They talk about sex, obviously. They talk about, like masturbation. They talk about all kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, your body forming, and like it's all, all the good stuff that goes on during puberty.
Yep, they illustrate everything.
Everything.
Everything has an animation.
And it's, you know what I mean? So like I said, I've been in the room when my friend watches, and I'm like, yo, what is this show, man? Like, this is weird. This is stupid. But, I mean, shout out to Madison for writing the article, because she has actually convinced me to watch it, because, she basically said in the article that, yes, it is very crude, very crass. You know what I mean? They don't sugarcoat nothing. But, it is very good lessons on, like body acceptance, just different things like that. So, Madison, you got me convinced. I actually have to, watch a couple episodes.
Yeah, like a lot of times the humor is like really crude, and sometimes honestly it's kind of annoying, and like it's not like a comfortable watch. Partially because there's like just like cartoon children genitals and stuff like that, but like most of the stuff that makes you really uncomfortable watching it, it's sort of like something that you need to like kind of be thinking about anyway, and like that's just kind of the topics that like it gets into, like people don't really talk about otherwise, because it's about kids and something sex related. Like there's one character who has like a whole arc where like he's in like basically a romantic relationship with like a pillow. That's a big part of the show. It's weird. And
the pillow gives birth. But
yeah.
We don't have to talk about it.
No, we're not going to get into too much detail about it.
Like,
it is super weird. Like, yeah, like all the bad stuff you hear about it is true. It's not endorsing pedophilia or satanic, but most of the bad stuff you hear about it's true.
But I mean, when I was in high school and I had to take the dreaded sex ed class that was all stale and dry, and they really didn't tell you anything, this show, I could have appreciated it because it holds absolutely nothing back.
Exactly.
It tells you everything, girl. Like, you will have no questions. And I think that's good for children to, like, not just be in their heads like, oh, my gosh, there's something wrong with me. No, this show will make you feel very normal, actually.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, y'all got me convinced. I will definitely be watching it. So, as the last part of our show, we are going to be talking about our obsessions. What are we thinking about? What we're talking about? Like, Joanne's doing a dance right now. Because first of all, we have several things that
So many opinions.
First of all, Thanksgiving is coming up. Okay, it's November. Thanksgiving is on the way. It's pending. It's downloading. Whatever you want to say. So
It's loading.
So, what season is it, Joanne?
It's pie season. P-I-E.
Pie season. So, at Thanksgiving, you have, pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie. So me and Joanne were having a debate. First of all, I like both. Yes, I like both. I will eat whatever you put in front of me. I will do it. Like, if you just put a gun to my head and you made me choose one, I guess I would choose sweet potato pie. But really, first of all, they're not that far off from each other. Personally, like, as far as taste, I don't think they taste. I mean, they taste different, but they don't taste like cherry pie versus apple pie. Like, it's, it tastes kind of similar. And also, like, I don't know. I think you can really eat either one. It's just really about who cooks it. You know what I mean? Because people can make trash sweet potato pies. People can make trash pumpkin pies. People can make really good pumpkin pies. People can make really good sweet potato pies. It just depends. You know what I mean? But Joanne has a different... Go ahead, Joanne. Look. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Doing my stretches before it. No. Simply no to what she just said. Don't listen to Erica. She knows not what she says. So the thing about it is I've had both good and bad sweet potato pies, but I've only ever had in my life horrible pumpkin pies. They taste like a curtain. They taste like foam cushion. No.
What? Pumpkin pie? First of all, that just means you be eating it from the wrong person. Obviously, you don't need to go to that person anymore and eat their pumpkin pie.
I don't.
So you just need to find somebody that makes good pumpkin pie. That's it.
Do you make good pumpkin pies?
I can. And that's another thing. I can follow a recipe. Okay, I can follow a recipe. I can look up really good pumpkin pie recipe, and I can make it. Okay, just because I'm not in the kitchen freestyling does not deter my cooking value. Okay. Mm-hmm. But also, we also talked about, regardless of pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, the OG pie that will be on everything is a good old apple pie. Apple pie made right. If you do like the little strudel on top, and like if you like when you're mixing the apples, if you put in like some cinnamon and some butter and some brown sugar, yes,
and make
with
it
some
a la
ice
mode.
cream,
Yes,
warm, and that thing is still warm,
delicious, fresh out the oven.
I'm telling
yes.
you.
And then there are blueberry pies for other people.
Ew, no. But also there's some Thanksgiving things that I feel like is pointless, like cranberry sauce. Pointless. No, I have always wondered this. What is the purpose of cranberry sauce? Why? First of all, if you make it freshly, it's like a sauce. Or you can get it from the can and like you just slide the can and slide it and you slice it. What are you supposed to eat it with? Are you supposed to eat it by itself? Are you supposed to eat it with something? Like, what is the point of cranberry sauce?
Look, there's no manual for cranberry sauce. It's what it is. It's your choose your own adventure. I've never got the answer to that question. You caught me way off guard with that. I've never known what to do with it. Just tastes like Jell-O cranberry. I don't know.
Why is Jell-O cranberry on the Thanksgiving table? Oh my God, that's so weird. Brooke, do you eat cranberry sauce?
Nah, I don't.
She's like, nah, I don't. But, obviously, first of all, do y'all eat turkey on Thanksgiving? I don't. I eat ham. I don't really like turkey.
Yeah, I don't really like turkey either, actually.
Well, the turkey I've always had was dry. So.
Yeah.
So no. So we have several meats. You know what I mean? We have ham, we have turkey. Sometimes we'll have meatballs. Sometimes we'll have chicken. Like, we have options for you. You know what I mean? It's not just turkey. But everybody knows the OG item at the Thanksgiving table is the mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yay.
Yeah, mac and cheese done right. Whoo! Girl, listen, if you are not sleepy and like ready to take a nap after you're done eating Thanksgiving, you did not do Thanksgiving right. You did not. The itis. The itis. But mac and cheese can also be the worst thing if you don't make it right. It's one of those things. It could be great. It could also be trash.
I can talk about a trash time if you have time.
Go ahead.
So it was a different family member's house. I wasn't at grandma's house. I was at my aunt's house, which is already questionable, so stay with me.
What?
So,
aunties can cook, though. My aunties can cook.
I mean, there are aunties that throw down in the kitchen. This one just not.
No, not the case.
Not one of them. So she made macaroni and cheese, and she baked it, and it looked phenomenal. But I cut into that thing, and some of the noodles were dry. She made eggs with it, and the egg separated from the cheese, and there was just egg in the part. I know, right? That part.
Oh, God.
And cheese was just sparse. So you have curdled eggs.
She didn't mix it together? Like, I'm confused.
I feel like she might have tried to do that, but things separated, and it's not supposed to. So.
See, if you can't, first of all, if you have to have at least, like, it's like a job, it's like a regular job. You have to at least have 5 years experience before you cook the mac and cheese at Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Start off with the regular family cookout, then graduate to Easter, you know what I mean? Before you do Thanksgiving, because mac and cheese, like the turkey, the meat, if you just had if you got rid of all the meat, the mac and cheese really is the star of the dish. I'm just saying.
It really is. And if you don't want to get clowned, if you don't want to get talked about,
I'm telling you
people will not ask you to cook next year. Like, don't do it to yourself.
I'm telling you, if you ask what to bring, they'll tell you to bring some dinner rolls or soda. Okay?
I will bring provisions with me next time because I know what to expect.
Speaking of provisions, something else we talked about. Literally, okay, so in y'all family, do y'all drink with your families? Because I do. So my family is super Christian, super saved, and we don't drink around each other. Now, do they drink separately? That's the tea. I probably, but we don't drink around each other. And I've been saying this for years, and I still want this for myself. I really want to marry into a drinking family because I want to know what it's like to go to a family dinner, family cookout, and there be alcohol. Like, that sounds cool. Like, I have been to different friends' family functions, and they have the coolers with the Mike's Hard, the Smirnoff, and they have and it's great. It's a great time. You know what I mean? And I want to experience that for myself. I don't want to marry into a family like mine where, we all just sit around drinking fruit punch, which is great. Fruit punch is great, but
like it.
Yeah, fruit punch with a little vodka in it would be a little better.
Yeah, no, I mean, my family's the same way. We don't like drink or anything. It's always a lot of fun when I'm in a place where a family like does, I guess, but it doesn't happen that often because mine doesn't. And like if my mom's there, then people usually like don't drink. I don't know if it's her or my grandma or whatever, but like one of the two, like they're just like avoiding, because I know they all drink outside of that, like just not at the family gatherings and stuff. It's got to be one of those two people. I don't know.
So for last Christmas, I snuck away from my parents' house. And I went to my best friend's Christmas at his uncle's house because, weird story, he's my ex, but like we're the best of friends. So his family
cool.
We just get along. And they had a whole bar area, girl.
Bro, see, that's what I want for.
Oh my God.
Ooh, my husband. If my husband does not have. It doesn't have to be him, but somebody in his family with a bar. I don't want it. That sounds awesome.
It was a beautiful house. It was a beautiful time. I do remember it. I
Okay.
didn't get that ruined in my life. But yeah, it was really good. Everybody was walking around having drinks. Like we talked about earlier, it makes for great bonding experiences.
Like you
get to know the person better.
Yeah, like you can bond over a cup of water, but you can also bond over a cup of wine, and it probably be even better. You know what I mean?
So many great talks. Many inhibitions just gone.
Because think about it. Like, if your family's like my family, after dinner, we kind of sit around and just talk about just what's going on in the world, and we get heated, and, you know, there's a lot of screaming and shouting. Imagine that with liquor. I feel like that'd be even more fun. Like, that'd be a lot more fun.
Like, instead of popcorn, you have liquor. Just beautiful.
Beautiful. But no, our families won't let us be great. But that's what I'm telling you. Whoever I marry, you gotta be from a drinking family. Yeah, I mean, obviously, don't be like an alcoholic or no shit like that. But stuff like that. I don't know if I can curse on here, but whatever. Anyway, don't be an alcoholic, but I mean, just have some nice little drinks, have some provisions. BYOB, I'm cool. BYOB. Like, if you want me to bring my own bottle, I'm cool. But I can't bring my own bottle at my grandma's. Like, I can't do that. But
no, that's grandma.
Or even like my uncle's, you know what I mean? Like at anybody's house, you cannot BYOB. Like that's not a thing. So even if you don't provide the liquor and I gotta bring my own liquor, I'm still cool with that. Because you know why? All these exist and they have the $2.89 winking out wine and it is delicious. And I can just sip on that. Mm-hmm. So it'll be delicious. So, well, yeah.
We had the thing about Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving, but we're done.
Yeah, that's That is our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our website, alestolive.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Alestle. And also don't forget to pick up the paper on Thursdays if you're on the SIUE campus. I'm your host, Erica Green, signing off. Don't forget to check us out next week right here on Alestle After Hours.